Whoop whoop. That. Welcome back to LHRPG. It's your boy Lil Nitro and Doyen. And finally, we have returned to the 20th dimension with Neverafter. I've been fucking plugging this shit for, what, a month and a half?
Yeah.
2 months now?
Yeah, no.
And it got put off, and we finally fucking started it yesterday. So, big shout out to Dimension 20, Brennan Lee Mulligan, for making this so I can steal it. Even though they probably don't know I did. Because I know they don't keep up with our shit. Any spoiler-free thoughts on this before we get into it?
No.
Like a synopsis.
Very deadly.
Very deadly.
Yes.
So it's hello. And through the power of quick cuts, I now have a cigarette. Anyways, as we were saying, it's promoted as fairy tale meets horror, but in my opinion, it's more of a dark fantasy than a straight up horror. But it caught my attention, and now we're doing it. And as he said, it's very, very deadly, which we will come to. Before we jump too far, I want to talk about the party, the characters we have. So we're going to start with the NPC, get that one out of the way, because none of them picked anyone with any healing. So they needed an NPC with healing, which almost didn't help.
Yeah.
So we have Princess Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. They all started at level 3.
Yep.
Next up we have Strife playing the Warlock Pinocchio. We have Tank playing the Rogue Puss in Boots. And then Dorian was playing who?
Prince Henry.
Prince Henry, the Frog Prince.
Yep.
Okay. So, let's get into how we opened this shit up. Because I think your character was the first scene, right?
Yep.
How'd that go down? We gotta get you back in the frame. Hang on. There we go. You keep leaning to the left. I don't know why you do that.
I don't know why I do that either.
If you're gonna lean to the right, man. Matter of fact, this is where we introduce a new segment on LHRPG that I like to call threatening my castmates with Nerf guns.
Hey.
If you're gonna lean to the right, motherfucker.
Okay, you got it.
Sit down.
Don't
Sit
shoot.
down.
Don't.
Sit down.
Okay, don't shoot.
These are some big bitches too, man. They whistle when you fire them.
Okay.
So how'd the intro go, buddy? Buddy old pal? How'd it go?
Me sleeping.
And then?
Huh?
And then? Like the Chinese lady from Dude Where's My Car? And then?
Sleeping Beauty. I felt somebody pulling something off of me.
The blanket.
A blanket.
Uh-huh. And what happened when it came off?
I seen Sleeping Beauty.
Uh-huh.
And she didn't mean to scare me.
Uh-huh. She got freaked out a little bit.
Yep.
Because there's a big-ass frog man there.
I won't say big, only about 4 foot.
That's big for a frog. Frogs are... Like when you met your wife, you were a normal-sized frog. You weren't a big-ass frog.
So how tall am I if... Never mind.
If you're not froggy?
Yeah.
Like 6 foot.
Okay.
You're a handsome prince. Just not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that's why you were fucking with the book like, no, it's good.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Then we had to stop
Uh-huh.
for a break and to stretch our legs and to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of mine.
Nope.
What else?
You had a flashback while you're still in the carriage.
Flashback.
Uh-huh.
Of me turning into a frog?
Mm-hmm. Are you starting to see? This is why I like doing them immediately after the game, because you've done forgotten like 60% of what happened.
No, I had a flashback of me turning into a frog and me getting into a bathtub trying to relax, and then me coming out of the bathtub as a frog, and I ran out to the nurses or whatever, and they gave me some medicine, and then I had another flashback of us sitting at the dinner table,
Mm-hmm.
and then them coming to say we need to raise the gates.
Defenses, yeah.
Defenses.
Basically, you were having dinner with your wife, and then you put that on hold to talk to your army guys about the war.
And she was already falling out of love, so she took off, and I tried following her, and she basically just said, said that she's falling out of love, basically. And so she's like, go back to your army talk. And then left. And then I seen a fly, in which I tried grabbing it. Was I still a prince, or did she know I turned into a frog?
I think that's when she found out you were starting to turn back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you still looked human at that point. You were
Yeah.
just having weird frog shit happen.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's where we cut that one.
Yeah.
No, there was one more clip after that.
Oh, yeah, the day of the war.
Uh-huh.
And they came
The day
and...
your castle was stormed.
Yep. And they basically... Was it giants?
No, the giants were for Puss. Yours was just the armies of Snowhold, where the Snow Queen rules. Elsa from Frozen, her people.
So they took over, and last thing I seen was my wife taking the kids and leaving.
Mm-hmm. And then that was it for that, right?
Yep.
So then we cut over to the shoe carriage.
Yep.
With Lord of Bandelbridge.
Yep.
Of Shoeburg.
Yep.
And we had Tink and Struggler, Pinocchio, and Puss in Boots in there, which I think they had said that they had worked out a deal with Bandelbridge where he was going to like use them as like a traveling freak show or something to make money. Oddity entertainment, I think, is how Tink put it.
Didn't he want to steal something from the...
Yeah, Tink, Puss wanted to steal something from him, which is why they set it up.
What she wanted to steal?
I don't know, they never told me. I asked them sitting at the table, and neither one of them could give me an answer. So, I guess we'll have to play it by ear. Which is why I tried to put something in there for him to find that was valuable, you know? We'll get there. You probably don't even remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so, Puss has a flashback of arguing with Tomas, the king, the miller's son that he made king. Dude's like feeling real fucking shitty about how he became the king and lying to everybody and shit. And Puss is like, no, we're fine. You know, if a problem happens, then we'll worry about it type shit.
Yeah.
And then the problem happened, and the giants stormed this fucking kingdom and stepped right through the motherfucking castle and squished Tomas to death and buried Puss in rubble, so he had to like clawing his way out and then flee. And Pinocchio's is really fucking dark. Do you want to tell that one? Huh?
Huh?
Do you want to tell Pinocchio's backstory?
Basically, he was a wooden boy, he got turned, well, he was a wooden boy at first, but then got turned into
A human.
A human. And then basically he was outside playing one day with all his other friends. And some weird a lady in a black cloak, or what was it?
Black dress.
Black dress.
With snow white hair, pale skin, and fairy wings, gothic fairy wings.
And she said, gather around children. Well, she had a big magic ball. And she said, gather around children, do you want to play a game? And she asked each child what was their father's name, and they gave them to them.
And what happened every time a kid answered?
Didn't they died, didn't they?
Who?
The kid's dad.
That's why they heard the screaming from the neighborhood.
And then they came to Pinocchio, and he basically told them a lie, and which the fairy turned him into a wooden boy, and he woke up with string sticking out of him and
attached to him.
Yeah.
He's hanging from the marionette strings in his dad's workshop. He lied to save his daddy's life. Anyways, so we all hop out. What happens when all the PCs meet?
Oh, I'll basically crack a joke as soon as I see him. I told
Puss.
Yeah.
You can say it. It's his name.
I see you brought your doll with you, talking about Pinocchio. And he told me...
Oh my god, he had the greatest, child reaction.
He told me to shut up.
That was... Strive had to play over video because Tim can't drive. So... I hand Doyen the speaker so they could talk. And Stripe just goes, "Shut up!" It's great.
And so we Miss Hen said, either help gather stuff or you're not eating dinner.
Pretty much.
So we all had
She's a country girl. That's a rose.
So we all had to gather up the food and stuff. And
I believe you went on a little side quest right there, didn't you?
Yeah, I seen Mother Goose take off into the woods, in which I followed. And I seen her talking to somebody. No, it was a big black goose. And he said, "Are you ready to make your last wish?" And she said, "Yes." And he's like, "What is your wish?" And she's like, for the last next group to defeat you." And so she bit off his head. Well, he bit off her head. And she had a book with her too. And the book landed in front of me, and the big black goose said, do you wish to know what happened?" And so he told me.
And he gave you a straight up vision.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as the scene in Harry Potter where they're pulling the memories out and they put them in a little pool and you can watch them, like that kind of shit. But it was just straight to your head.
The Mother Goose her Mother Goose son had the 3 wishes and seen him get his head bit off. Right?
He died the exact same way she did.
And so the book landed in front of her, and he asked her the same thing, and then it just goes on. And then he's like, "We will wander," or something like that. We will wander.
Yeah. Eventually, you'll make your 3rd wish, and then you and I will get to wander. So I think that was pretty much it for that, right?
Yes.
Puss snuck into a teapot carriage, and y'all never did check that one clock. So it's like once you go into the teapot, it's like you're in a big ass house, right? Like the inside don't match the outside.
Yeah.
And all the walls are lined with these clocks, and there's one above the mantle that's not ticking, and no one ever looked into that one.
We still driving the teapot, ain't we?
I think no,
Yeah.
no, you're lying unconscious in the forest, like on the verge of death. Remember?
Hopefully the teapot character's still there.
Alright.
I literally thought, oh my god.
So, also in this carriage is this mirror that's covered up with like a cloth, like a sheet or something. And so Puss pulls the sheets off and sees a mirror, and it's essentially the magic mirror from Snow White. And what the fuck was it she wanted to see? She ended up seeing Tomas's death in it. But I thought there was something
she said
else.
she wanted to check on Tomas because she hadn't seen him since.
Yeah, and that's how it showed her what happened, because she didn't see it happen when it happened.
Yeah, but first she said, before she had to say his name.
We keep doing that. We keep doing that. Puss is a guy.
He had to say his name.
Yeah, essentially, it took about, 10 minutes
Yeah.
of me trying to drop subtle hints to get her to understand you have to address it by mirror, mirror on the wall.
She's like, huh?
She picked it up and he's like, you want to see the wall? What? Oh, it was great. So, is that the only thing Puss saw in the mirror? Was that?
Yeah. Oh, and he also, the mirror told him to bring him to me, and she was like, who?
No. He said the mirror told him to ask Pinocchio to come talk to it.
Yeah.
And then she said, he sent Pinocchio in. God damn it, Nitro. Ugh. Bad boy. I'm not used to Tink playing men.
Yeah.
It's the same shit we did with Cyberpunk when Jade played the landlord. Fuck. So then Pinocchio goes in, and the mirror says, bring me back to her a bunch of times, like more aggressive each time. And like shaking and shit in the carriage. And he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And walked the fuck out. Before he hung up last night, he's like, I was like, what are you looking forward to? He said, breaking that goddamn mirror. Trying to think. Who saw the big ass goose? You?
Wait, what big goose?
Not goose, the big ass ostrich.
Oh, that was Sleeping Beauty.
Was it?
Because she came back and said, guess what I
yeah. Yeah. She's trying to get like the birds and chipmunks and shit to help her. And this big featherless ostrich comes up. He's like, hey, you need help. It's great. Is there anything happen after that before we get into the collective group events that I'm missing? This is why we need Tink's journal. Let me look in my notes here. Don't look at that. Old King Cole.
What is that?
Yeah, him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The bearded guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Him just talking to Pinocchio.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't think we're missing anything because King Cole gets introduced to the group after you guys start talking about the book. So, pick us up where you get back to the fire and we start looking into the book. Like, we don't need to cover every detail of what happened in game, just the key points so we have a cohesive narrative so they can follow the story.
I came back. We all started talking. Sleeping Beauty was talking about the featherless ostrich.
Mm-hmm.
I started talking about the book. And then Puss and Pinocchio started talking about the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought back the book and I told them to look at it. Well, I looked at it and it was just blank. So I thought you have to use magic. So I gave it to Pinocchio and he just made it work.
And what happened with that?
King.
Well, first, the thing that happened was the last owner of the book, their story appeared in it.
Yeah.
Which was...
Mother Goose?
Mm-hmm. Which, if you go over that rhyme, has a few clues about the campaign.
You weren't supposed to tell me that, was you?
I thought you guys would have put it together when I was reading it to you. Because of certain words. But that's all I'm going to tell you. It'll be up to you to look into it if you want. So, I think after that is when King Cole noticed and came over and introduced himself. How'd that go?
I mean, he sounded like he was just depressed.
Yeah.
And he wanted to look at the book, and Pinocchio was like, "Mind your business." He's like, "I was just trying to be nice." Did he say? No, he said.
No, he said, "Didn't mean to offend. I was just interested."
Yeah. And so he touched. Well, we start after that. We closed the book. What? No, was the book open?
Yeah, he said he left it open.
Yeah, he left it open, and we started hearing fiddles,
Mm-hmm.
and it started getting louder, and he started singing. When he started singing, words started. Well, he was singing, and the fiddling was playing. He was basically saying what was coming onto the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it started getting louder, and he started getting more jolly and fat, and then he got sucked into the book.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else saw that, and they took off.
A witch!
And
I was waiting for Stark to be like, "No, I'm a warlock," but he didn't. Which probably wouldn't have helped his case. Oh, that's great. So what happened after Cole got sucked into the book?
Everybody took off, and then there was only 3 carriages left, right? 3.
Yeah, there was
The teapot, the shoe.
No, the shoe took off.
Oh,
There was the teapot. There was the one that you and Aurora came in, and then there was the chariot that Cole was driving.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full carriage. It was just like a racing chariot.
Yeah. And then we seen somebody step out of the teapot carriage.
Mm-hmm. Where is here? Herr Drosselmeyer. He's from the Nutcracker.
Okay. So he came out and asked. We told him who he was. He told us who he was, and so he seen that we had a book, and he told us it was a rare book.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think he said not that many were made.
He said not many in existence. It's what's called a true book. It basically holds the canon of fate, if you will.
Yeah.
Like how the events of your life are meant to play out.
And so he basically asked if he can see it and touched it, and he just started twitching. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and dang, he said.
He said a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You want me to read you from my notes what he said?
Yeah.
It says there are many items that the book requires to unlock its power. The first item that needs to be retrieved is nearby and that someone knows where. You have to stick together. If you split up, you'll not be able to beat what's coming.
Yeah.
And while he's talking, what happened?
He turned into an owl and flew off. And then we found out, Pinocchio started flipping through the book some more, and some of the fairy tales started popping up in the book.
The titles only.
Yeah. And he seen something about a glass slipper, and
it got to the Cinderella section, and the only thing that popped up was the word elegy and an illustration of a glass shard with some kind of liquid dripping off of it. Which I think you found out later what that was all about. So what'd you guys do from there?
We took off. No, wait. We seen something, and then Cinderella popped out. It was Cinderella in full armor, and she took off her helmet, and she said, "Sister, you're awake."
And then you shut the book.
Yep. And then a picture of a witch. No.
No, he didn't shut it. He started flipping through to do something else.
Yeah.
And when we flipped back, it was gone.
And then we gathered up all our stuff, put it in the carriage, and started taking off, which I didn't even know I was driving.
That was... They got all the way to the halfway point of their destination before he realized he was the one driving the fucking carriage. Mind you, he spent like an hour and a half bragging prior to this about how he was the only person at the table with the drive land vehicle proficiency.
Okay, I wouldn't say an hour and a half. I'll say about 15 minutes and a half.
We were like 3 hours into the game, my guy.
Okay, you got it. And then I basically said, I just tell the people to stop. He's like...
What was pulling your carriage?
A talking rabbit that looks like a horse.
Does it look like a horse?
It's as big as a horse.
Yes.
And I thought a horse was pulling it and a bunny was driving it.
That's alright. Tank had some brain fart moments too. I think Strife even had one or two of them.
And then while we was on the way to get the other to find the other thing for the book, I told the magic mirror, let me see my wife and kids. Well, my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And my wife, she was on her knees and my 2 kids were dead. And then I asked to see the witch that turned me into a frog, and turns out she was in the same forest as we was. And so we went to go find her.
Alright. So, halfway there is when you stumbled upon that log cabin just outside of Elegy.
Yep.
And what all did you guys find in there? You want to do what you found first, since you probably remember it better?
Blood.
What kind?
Like a cinnamon orange smelled blood, and with glitter in it.
And anything else peculiar about it?
I licked it. Oh yeah, it carried out to the well. Well. Yeah. And it had like blood stains all over the well and stuff.
What'd Puss find?
She found mice and she started going crazy.
Like, that was probably in hindsight the wrong character to give that piece of info to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Puss opens up the cupboard and sees this whole little village of mice and just starts fucking murdering. It was horrible.
You was not expecting her
She
to do
was
that
eating the mice from Cinderella, okay? You know the ones that help her make the dress? Ain't that some shit? Nice little guys. And Puss is just like, ah.
I don't care.
He was hungry. I did tell him that.
Yeah.
You remember what Pinocchio found?
No. Because I went in here. I was in a...
He found... there's a staircase that just led to a door. It was the only thing upstairs. It was one room. And it looked... Oh, wait. We skipped something earlier.
What?
His communication.
His fairy godmother? Oh, I mean his stepmother?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how that went? Back at the caravan?
Oh, yeah. She told him,
So, hang on. We gotta build up. Damn, it sucks that we can't edit.
Yeah.
So, we'll get right back to this because we need this information for it to really make sense. So, earlier during the caravan, when they were all doing their little things before dinner, Pinocchio comes upon this other carriage, and it looks like there's someone in there. So he steps in to see what's going on, right? And he's in this long hallway, and all you can see is a door with a silhouette of the wicked stepmother. And that's his warlock patron. And I think it was that point when she gave him his quest, right?
Yeah.
She basically told him, hey, look, the princess is important. Keep her alive. Keep her hidden, right? There's people looking for her.
And he said, why should I? And then she's like, I'm killing your father.
I'm busy aiding your ill father.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's basically holding his dying dad hostage to be able to use against him. She's a bitch.
Watch that be the final boss we have to go against.
Man, that would suck, wouldn't it? So, now we can jump back to this, because I think that's the only important info that was from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he finds this door, and it looks identical to that door. And so he opens it up, and the doorknob's loose.
He didn't think none of it, did he?
Not right off the bat.
Okay.
So I mentioned it quite a few times. And so he goes in, and it's essentially his stepmother's old room. You want to talk about what he finds?
Chair. Basically a rocking chair, but it couldn't rock.
No, it was like a recliner.
Oh, recliner.
Yeah. It's like an old school big armchair cushion.
And behind it was two bone skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
And
with bite marks and shit. Marrow sucked out.
And then she found blood. Didn't he find blood?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that's all I remember of him finding.
He found an etching, like an illustration.
Yeah.
That looked like maybe it was like a page from the book. And then he found a bloody knife.
Okay, I wasn't in here when he found those two things.
Yeah, he found the bloody knife. And then when he left is when I mentioned the doorknob again. And he was like, okay, he's done mentioned it 4 times. I'm taking this thing.
What does the doorknob do?
Essentially, it's how she opens gateways to communicate with him.
Okay.
So he could potentially use it against her by opening the door to her when she's not expecting it. You know?
Yeah.
You remember what happened after that?
We came back downstairs. I gathered up some mice. We talked.
What'd you find out from them?
That she used dark magic. Well, no, Cinderella came back and stabbed her
Stabbed who?
stepmother.
No.
No?
Nope, the fairy godmother.
Aren't those two the same thing?
No. Two different people. We covered this last night. The stepmother is the one that basically used her as a slave, right? The fairy godmother is the old lady that came in and turned her, gave her the dress and the slippers and the carriage so she could go to the ball with the prince and all that.
Oh.
Do you know the story of Cinderella?
Kinda.
I don't think you do. Essentially, her dad marries this evil bitch, then her dad dies, and so she's raised by this evil bitch. This evil bitch has her own two kids that she loves, but they're ugly and horrible to people. And she essentially gets used as a slave to do all their housework and shit. And then I think she's like 16 or something, and this fairy godmother comes and gives her a beautiful gown and ruby slippers, and turns a pumpkin into a carriage and a bunch of mice into horses and coachmen, so she can go to this big dance with the prince, and that's how they end up getting together, and she gets out of the horrible situation and all that shit. But the spell should only last till midnight, so when midnight hits, she has to hurry up and get back, because all her shit changes back. And when she's leaving, the only thing left behind is this glass slipper. And so the prince finds it and goes around the village, makes all the girls try it on until he finds her. And then they get married and they live happily ever after. That's the story. In a nutshell.
And what does the fairy godmother and the stepmother have
To do with each other?
Yeah.
The only thing they have in common is that they both deal with Cinderella. That's it.
So why was the fairy godmother down by the well if the stepmom
Because
was
that's
upstairs?
where Cinderella stabbed her. The stepmother was living in the upstairs room. Cinderella was laying in a pallet of clothes by the fireplace downstairs.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You did keep leaving the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fairy godmother and the wicked stepmother are nowhere near the same people.
Okay.
So Cinderella stabbed the fairy godmother with the heel of the glass slipper.
Okay.
And then the wicked stepmother ate her two daughters.
I don't remember what the mice was telling us.
That's what the mice were telling you.
Oh, okay.
They saw all that shit go down. Alright, anything after that?
We went back.
Important?
We went back outside, and then the fairy godmother, she started talking and saying, we have people in our forest driving a teapot, and we need to deal with it.
Oops.
So that leads to the combat.
Yeah, which y'all were all gung-ho about at the start.
Yeah. No.
Not by the end,
No. So we get to fighting, and we weren't dealing no damage to them objects. There was really too many and only 4 of us.
3 after a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
So, this combat was extremely brutal, as every combat in this campaign is going to be. First off, we need to get the house rule out of the way.
Yeah.
Because they came up a few times.
Yeah.
At any point in a combat, if someone scores a nat 20 on an attack roll, the recipient of that attack needs to make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail, they instantly die. No death saves, no nothing. You are dead. If they pass, then we handle a critical hit as normal. And Sleeping Beauty got hit with a nat 20 and rolled a 2 on her con save.
So she died.
Yeah, and what was Pinocchio's one job?
To keep her alive. Well, we died too. Well, we died, but we like
You're in the process of dying.
dying. Yeah.
But yeah, so you killed the fairy godmother though.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. The glass shards out of her. It's there for the taking if anyone, wasn't down. So let's include as much as we can remember. Not like minute shit, like, oh, I rolled this and missed, but like good detail shit up to the end of this combat so we can talk about where we left off.
Basically, we was all just trying to fight these things, and we hit them, but they have like a lot of health for us being low level.
The ones with the lowest health had 25 hit points.
Yes. And we just started trying to go for the fairy godmother.
What was she fighting with? What kind of troops did she have? I don't think we covered that.
Like, they had human arms and legs and stuff, but they was like random objects.
Yeah. Alright, what's this one? This is
I don't see the head on
that. There's a barrel. Here's a sign. Here's a bed. Here's a chair. They were like halfway mutated humanoid construct abominations. You know what the cool thing about that sign one is?
What?
One of them says woods, the other one says more woods. Ain't that some shit? Creepy little shits.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the cool shit you guys did before you started going down. Any highlight reels that stand out to you?
Me throwing Pinocchio.
Yeah. Tell them how'd that go?
He was trying to get closer to the fairy godmother, and so I was like, okay, I'll just throw you then.
Have you seen X3? It's a full-on Wolverine Colossus situation. My bad.
No, you good.
Here, let me see if this will help. So
And
suck some of it out.
what else?
Talk about. I want to hear. We want something cool you did, something cool Strife did, and something cool.
Puts in boots. He snuck attacked somebody.
Sneak attack.
Yeah, sneak attack.
Snuck attack. I get you were trying to do the past tense. That's clever.
He sneak attacked somebody.
Yeah. How? I don't really remember exactly how that went down.
He basically hid for at least, I think, 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was invisible when we started.
Yeah. And then somebody bumped into him, so he just cut him up. But I don't think he died, did he?
No, not initially. He didn't do enough damage to put him down.
And
He was bloodied.
Sleeping Beauty, all she did was heal us.
Yeah.
And
I think she got 1 attack off.
Yeah. And Pinocchio, he did this little thing where 12 of them ran away on command. What was that thing?
Yeah, like all but 2 of them.
Yeah.
That one fucking spell is what saved y'all's asses. Because had he not done that, y'all would have all died.
Yeah.
Which would have arguably been easier for me, but because now I have to figure out how to bring one person back without doing what Brennan did. Because he had to bring them all back so he could just do different versions of the same thing. And now I can't do that because it doesn't make sense.
So you really having time figuring that out?
Yeah. Most of my prep work in the next 2 weeks is going to be figuring out how the fuck to deal with the Aurora situation.
Mm.
So, any hooser.
Mm.
So that was the cool shit. Where did it start to go south?
As soon as Aurora died, then Puss died, and then I died. Well, I wouldn't say died, but Aurora died. Then Puss started dying. Then I started dying. The only one that was on the good side and was fighting was Pinocchio
For a while.
for a while. They had like 3 rounds.
And then he went down.
Yeah.
So, it ended with
Almost
a TPI.
A TPI.
Total party incapacitation.
Oh. I wouldn't say total party. She's.
Which now I need to figure out if y'all are going to be able to get up and get away before the others break out. Oh, the spell wears off and they come back. You know? I got to figure out how long that spell lasts. I think did he say 24 hours?
Yeah.
Well, then it might be okay because you'll only be unconscious for about an hour. And then when you wake up, there will only be one threat there.
And he's still gonna try to come after us.
Oh, yes.
So we're coming back to a battle.
I don't know. It's possible, because I got to figure that out, because it's very possible he could see you start to stir and kill you in your sleep. It's very possible. And then you'd be coming back dead.
Yeah.
So I got to figure that out. I got to figure out what makes the most sense and what's better for the story, what's better not to piss all you guys off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then find a common interest goal. But, what's our time?
47 minutes.
Perfect, because that's where we left it, right? You guys were knocked out in the forest.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through your near-death experience real quick?
Yeah, I got
All
that
right.
stuff.
Get your sheet and a D20.
No, I did grab it. D20.
Run over there and just grab one of mine. You guys get to see a little bit of campaign action. What a treat.
New one.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. You open your eyes. You're floating in water. Lily pads all around you.
Uh-huh.
You see blood start to pour into the water around you from all your wounds. And you hear a voice. It says, "Careful now." What do you do?
I try to see who is it.
You see
Who goes there?
one second. I need to look at this really quick. You see a A beautiful woman with brown hair, a green dress, and green butterfly wings.
Who are you?
I'm the green fairy.
What do you want?
Well, none of this is correct. I'd like to fix that.
What do you mean by that?
Henry, you shouldn't be a frog right now.
Well, I am.
We're trying to set the Neverafter back to right. But we need help.
Okay. What can I help you with?
You need to find Princess Elodie, find out what has corrupted her mind where she's no longer in love with you, and we need to change her back.
Change her back into what?
To what she was before all went wrong.
I'm confused. What went wrong?
Look at you, boy. She is to blame for this.
Why do you say that?
Because if she hadn't have fallen out of love with you, this wouldn't have happened.
True. How long do I got until I gotta find her?
Hard to say. See, here's the problem. You're dead right now.
Uh-huh.
And we need to wake you up.
I am awake right now.
Give me an insight check.
+4.
Nice. Natural 18, natural 18.
+4. That'd be
You see
21?
there's something she wants to say but doesn't want to say at the same time.
What you look like you want to say something. What do you want to say?
Give me a persuasion check. 10 plus
4.
14.
Uh-huh.
She says, okay. Henry, you're a story.
Uh-huh.
You're not real. None of us are. We all exist in the pages of a book.
I look real. I feel real.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That'll be 21.
Okay. Let that sink in for a minute. Your mind doesn't fully collapse in on itself.
Uh-huh.
She says, have you come into contact with any powerful artifacts recently?
No, not that I know of.
Give me a deception check. 12 plus.
What is deception?
Where is it? Here. You don't have it correct.
That'll be 14.
14?
Yeah.
I'm going to roll an insight for her. She's like, okay. Well, I don't understand how you're able to be here then, but...
You talking about a book?
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 What book? Give me an insight.
Ooh, that's funny.
She's very interested in what this book is. Like, extremely interested.
It's just a book that has all the fairy tales in it.
Where is this book?
With the fairy godmother.
Give me a deception check.
15.
She says, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you back. You're going to get this book. And you're going to deliver it to me.
What do you need it for?
It will help us set all this back to right.
You
The Neverafter should not be. Once upon a time, this land was a place called Happily Ever After. The times of shadow have changed everything.
You sure you're gonna turn it back?
Why wouldn't I want that?
I mean, you know, some people are kind of evil.
Give me an insight.
Well, that'd be 19?
19. She doesn't seem like she's lying.
Oh, okay.
Like she wants this to go the way it should go, according to.
Okay. Where can I find you?
Simply leave the book in any glade under the light of a full moon.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. She says, however, now with Aurora gone,
Uh-huh.
their forces will be searching for your wife.
Can you try to bring it back into the stage for the book?
Give me a persuasion check. Unfortunately, I cannot bring people back. The most I could do is put them in another version of their own story. But in order to put you in the same version as her, you would need to fully die.
I thought you said I am dead.
Right, but we were gonna, kind of prevent that. Would you prefer if I just send you into her story? That is an option.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
You sure?
What would that do?
Well, there are many versions of these stories that are less kind than the one you come from. And the odds of ending up in a softer story are not great. Most of the kinder worlds have already died. So the version of her story she now heads to is a much darker and more violent version. So if I were to send you there, you would be tougher. You would have more ability to fight off what you need, but your form would be substantively worse than it is now. You would be even more frog-like.
Okay, I'll just bring the book to you then.
Okay.
Do you know how many days until this all thing's just gonna fall apart? How many months, years?
I cannot say, but we don't have long. She says, one more thing. Try not to get yourself killed again. I can't do this forever.
Okay.
And you wake up in the field, give me a dexterity saving throw.
That's funny.
You wake up just as that pole arm from that last construct is coming down. You roll out of the way. Give me an attack roll.
Attack, that's +5. Wait, no.
What are you using, your cane sword?
Yeah, +5.
Yep. So that's 17. That hits. Roll damage. You don't have your damage dice.
2d6 plus. Wait. D6 plus 3.
Grab a d6. So 7.
Yep.
Alright. Let me see that.
What, this?
Yep. $15. What's your armor class?
18.
All right, miss. It's on you.
14 plus 5.
19. Hit.
5.
Plus 3 is 8.
8.
He was at half. He took 7 the first time. That drops him down to 5. And that's an 8. He's dead. You come down with that sword the last time, and he just splinters into a pile of wood and pieces of flesh.
I like to look around for anything.
Give me your choice of perception or investigation.
Let me see this. Yeah, I got investigation. So that'll be a dirty 20.
You find a shard of glass on the ground. You find the book on the ground, and you find your companion still on the ground. And that's where we're going to cut it off.
Okay.
Was that semi?
Yes, I was getting so many good rolls.
So, what do you think about the storyline so far?
I mean, it's good. It's so. Is that a good witch?
The green fairy?
Yeah.
I can't tell you. But you know, she's very interested in that book.
Yeah. All I gotta leave it. And the next place we go to, I'm probably just gonna try to snatch it from. Hey, he's still down. I'm gonna take the book.
And the greatest thing is,
It's already
if
activated.
Strife watches this, he can't use that information because it's metagame.
Yeah.
But you see why I said it's going to be a very meta campaign now?
Yeah.
Did you see that twist coming?
No.
Now you know you're nothing but a story character. Question is, are you going to have a midlife crisis? Or are you going to use the knowledge to your advantage?
Probably knowledge to my advantage.
Good thing you didn't fail that wisdom save. That's all I'm going to say.
I was getting so many good rolls.
Where is... Because if you had, you would have got one of these babies.
What are they?
Not telling you.
Stress die.
Not telling you. So,
The
anything
stress.
else before we sign off here?
No.
Well, there you have it. Episode 1 of Neverafter. So, we will see you guys again in 2 weeks to check out where we go from here. Woo-woo.